So, a quick story. When I was a kid, grew up in New York City in an apartment, so I want you to bear that one in mind. And when I was a kid, and I mean a little kid, and my brother was even a littler kid, every random, however long it was, in the middle of the night, my dad would start banging on a metal pot with a wooden spoon, running around the house saying, "Fire, fire, fire!" And my brother and I would, of course, pop out of bed out of a deep sleep. But here's the catch. We knew exactly what to do. I knew that I had to hit the ground. My brother knew that he would get on my back like I was a turtle, and then I would crawl across the floor. I would feel at every doorknob to see if it was too hot to handle, and then I would turn the door and I'd crawl down to the next door and so on and so forth. Out the front door, don't go in the elevator, go down the stairs through the lobby, get out onto Broadway at 2 o'clock in the morning. That was our fire drill. And I know that sounds kind of extreme, but the thing was that after we had done that a number of times, I knew exactly what to do. That's the nature of a fire drill. We hear the alarm, we know what to do. That's my story. Bye! No, today I want to talk about what to do with your animal companions to prepare for emergencies. Whether you need to leave because of something happening in your home or something happening around you somewhere. I'm living in Los Angeles, earthquake and fire country, so believe me, we've been thinking about it. But no matter where you live, there's always a reason why you might need your fire drill. How to get out. How to get your animal companions out and what to bring with you. So let's get to it. I think one of the most important things when it comes to getting out of your home quickly with your cats, and that is their carrier. We need to get our cats to actually like going in their carriers. And then there's a chance that when things start happening, that's where they're going to go because it's their safe place. And we can make that happen. Check out this video floating over my head right now, which tells you all about how your cats can more see their carriers as their base camp. Remember, you want a carrier for each one of your cats, and you want it to be out in the open because once you create that positive association, you want them at any point to be able to go into their carrier. They know, hey, I'm going to get my favorite treats in there. It's my safe place. It's where I go to sleep at night. It has my nice smelling blanket, etc., etc. So when that time comes, in they go, out they go. But here's another important thing. Whether I'm talking about upping your cat's mojo or just keeping them safe, it's the concept I call blocking the unders. Blocking the unders means, to me, if you got cats, you should not have unders. Under your bed, under this chair right here. There's no cats here, but if there were cats here, then I wouldn't let them get under this chair, under bookcases, wherever they can disappear. Because in times of great danger and great energetic distress, your cats will go to those places that they feel safe. I've heard stories in the past, some people that I know, where this tragic thing happens. A fire breaks out in their house, they can't find their cat. Their cat went under the bed, and when they go under, they go all the way under. They'll go to the middle of the bed, right underneath the headboard. Now you have to try to get them out of there. So just block off all of your unders because you don't want to have that stress of trying to find your cats when all hell is breaking loose. So you've heard me talk about the 3 R's before. 3 R's stand for routine, ritual, rhythm. It's that way of repeating things over and over again until your cats bank on them. That's why I tell everyone, stop free feeding your cats and feed them meals. Those are just one of those routines that turn into rituals, that turn into your cat's rhythm that they really begin to depend on. Why am I telling you that now? Well, I'll tell you later. But right now, just think about all of those routines that you can get into place. That's just part of your fire drill. The next thing I want you to do without waiting another second is make sure that your cat's microchip information is updated. Now, first of all, if you have not microchipped your cat, please do it. It is the one surefire way that your cat is going to get back to you if they get separated from you. If they have a collar on, the chances are that collar is going to get lost along the way. And if they wind up in any vet clinic or any shelter, they will get scanned the moment they get there. It is the way for that cat to get back to you, but your information has to be updated, whether it's your address or your phone number. That's really important stuff. So make sure that you have that updated. Nothing replaces having a hard copy of things, and when it comes to your cat's vet records, I highly recommend that you have that in a folder with you. That can go with you if you have to leave really quickly, just in case there is no electricity, there is no power. You want to make sure that if your cat winds up somewhere, you have that record. That's just playing it safe. Pictures of your cat. You want to make sure that you have a picture. They are looking at the camera. You got a full facial picture of your cat as close up as you can. A color picture, of course, is best so that all all of those subtleties of your cat's face are there, so that if you have to make a lost poster or something like that, it's unmistakable. It's your cat. So now I'd like to introduce you to the concept of your cat go bag. You want to have something at the ready so that when it's time to go. You grab, you go. Do I have to make that clear? You grab, you go. So what goes in your cat go bag? Well, the first thing I just want to put out there before we get to all the obvious stuff, here's one not so obvious thing. Cats define their world through scent. That's the thing that's going to make your cat feel the most secure in times of high insecurity and lower that sort of energetic blood pressure level and physical blood pressure level. So scent soakers are really important. Things like your cat's favorite blanket, you can make it into their favorite blanket. Have them lay on something for a while, and when it's nice and marinated in their scent, then you put that in your go bag. And I would also take an article of your clothing, a t-shirt or something like that, wear it for a few days, put it in your go bag. And that way, when you get where you gotta go, no matter where that is, something that smells like them, something that says, I'm home, it's really important. If you haven't watched my video on Basecamp, take a look at that one because that's all about scent soakers. It's all about how cats define territory, and it's a great way of getting them used to a brand new place. Also in your go bag should be your cat's just absolute jackpot food, jackpot treats, the things that you really never have to worry about your cat eating. Of course, cats can be picky, we all can be, but there's that something, that one thing, because when a cat is really nervous, one of the things we don't want to happen is that they stop eating, because that can be really dangerous for them. So just make sure that you've got that jackpot in a bag, jackpot in a go bag. If you have a cat who's on any kind of medication where they have to be on it long term, have an entire month of that medication on hand in your go bag. Just talk to your vet about it, at the very least a couple of weeks, because the worst feeling is you leaving home knowing that your cat needs medication, they can't get it, just so that you know that you're going to be safe no matter where you go. Having your cat's preferred brand of litter, just like having their jackpot food, it's a source of comfort for them in a strange place. Don't forget toys. I've taught you guys well that play is so crucial to your cats, but when we get where we're going, having their favorite toys on hand for you to break out when the time comes is going to serve you well. You should have just a regular, generic, really, pet emergency kit that you can get at any of the major retailers that has the basic stuff in it. Stuff from antiseptics, anti-sting pads, saline, some of them have tongue depressors. I don't know why you need a tongue depressor, but just go for the whole thing. It's inexpensive and it has those basics in it. But think of things like, depending on where you live, a pet life jacket is, I think, a great idea if you live in areas that tend to get flooded. Or if you live in places that have extreme heat or extreme cold. And in fact, more and more vets, even here in Los Angeles, are saying, you guys, if you're walking your dog and it's 95 degrees out and you're on concrete, you are burning their pads. So those little booties, you've seen them before, that's also a really good investment. Now, you've seen me talk about harness training your cats. How many times now? You haven't? There's a video on that right there. But anyway, harness training your cat is a great idea, but in an emergency situation, what a great thing to be able to fall back on, that you can have your cat in a harness, and whether they're in their carrier, in the car, wherever they are, in a hotel room, you know that you have control over them. Cats, when they're scared, will bolt, and it's great to know that even if you happen to drop them, if you're carrying them, that harness really comes in handy. Your fire drill is going to help you keep your adrenaline in check and your energy in check as much as you possibly can so that you can get the job done. But don't forget, cats are just energetic balloons. They're energetic sponges. You put something out, they're taking it in. And we also know that cats, when they're really stressed out, can manifest physical dis-ease, especially as they get older. So try to think about things that are holistic. For instance, I make Jackson Galaxy Solutions. We make flower essence remedies. One is called Stress Stopper. As far as I'm concerned, that's part of your emergency kit. You have it on board. It's something that you can help just sort of regulate stress with along the way. It's something that at least I wouldn't leave home without. Okay, so now as we get into the during, the part where you're getting from point A to point B, you're getting out of the situation you're in and you're getting to safety, just some really brief points in terms of managing stress. One, of course, is manage your own stress. Practice this fire drill in your head and in your body a number of times so that you know what you're going to do when the time comes. While you are in transit, if you're in a car or anything else, sometimes you may want to think about restricting your cat's visual access to the world because there's a lot going on. So having a blanket or a sheet that you can put over the carriers, they can breathe, but they just can't see everything around them because too much of the stimulation at that moment home is just probably not a good thing. I know that you're going to be tempted to do this, but please take my word for it. Don't let your cat loose in the car during times like this. They are going to have the same sort of reaction. If, again, the energy is high, if you're swerving around, if you're doing anything, your cat can wind up under your feet by the pedals. That's terrible. And the other thing is that you would think it's cruel to them to have them in their carrier for however long that is. It's not true. It becomes a den for them. If we think about crate training dogs, well, we do that not to be mean to them, but to give them a sense of a nice closed space where they feel safe. In your cat's carrier, you have blankets that smell like them. They have adjusted to that space before. Just don't let them out, man. I'm going to tell you, when I was young and very stupid, I did that on a road trip, and I'm not going to go into details right now, but it was a nightmare. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll never do it again, and neither should you. So, you've prepped yourself, you've done your fire drill 100 times, now you've had to actually evacuate, you get out, and you have gotten where you're going. And it doesn't mean that it's got to be a permanent place. If you're evacuated, you're in a hotel room, or you've landed in a place where you're going to be for a while, it matters very little. What matters is that you set your cats up for feeling the most secure they can feel. And that's where all of that good stuff that you put in your go bag comes in handy. Whether you're moving and you got all the time in the world to get your stuff together, or you got to get out in a hurry, resetting your cat's life in a predictable way is important. Remember, at the very beginning of this video, I was talking about the 3 R's. 3 R's, routine, ritual, rhythm. This is where that comes in really handy, because if your cat has a series of rituals that define their day, then no matter what 4 walls surround you, they're surrounded by their own scents, they're surrounded by toys, they're surrounded by their blankets, they're surrounded by them, and they have rituals like, for instance, food. And this is one of those reasons I tell you guys to stop free feeding your cats, because meals are one of those really important rituals. The sound of you opening up a can, putting it in a bowl, putting it down, what you say to them to bring them to the dinner table, these are really important rituals. They're important to us, and so they're important to our animals as well. There is no quicker shortcut to a sane life for your cats than their Basecamp. So hopefully I've given you some food for thought here. Get that fire drill ready, man, because I'm telling you, you don't want to be like getting out onto Broadway in the middle of the night and you don't know what's going on. You don't know how you wound up there, but you're in your pajamas and, oh, that was me. Sorry. Emergencies are traumatic events, and there may be times down the line where your cats may get triggered by certain sounds or just anything that can trigger this sort of cascading effect of panic, and that may happen with you as well. I did a video about desensitization and counter conditioning that you should check out, because it'll help you guys get through the sort of remnants of what was a really hard time in your lives. And hopefully I've made that time just a little bit easier in terms of preparation. So let me know if you know of something that should go in your go bag and I didn't say anything. Well, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear all about it. And I'd also love to hear any other ideas that you have for videos. And I would also love it if you were to subscribe to this channel. Stay safe. Much love to everybody. Light, love, mojo.
Meow.